My name is Tiffany Steel. I am 38 years old. I've been married for 15 years to my husband, Paul. We have three kids. Our oldest daughter, Taylor, who's 20, middle daughter, Kaylee, who just turned 16, and our son, who's going to be turning 13 in May. Currently, I am working as a paraprofessional with LaBrea Local Schools, where I do Title I services in the morning for first and second grade, and I also do afternoon special called Alex Adventure for first and second, and then I do a fine motor fun for kindergarten instruction as well. I've been here for about 2 years in this capacity, and about 6 total for LaBrea in general. I am a graduate of LaBrea as well. I also graduated with my associates in business from University of Phoenix in 2011. Now working towards my bachelor with Grand Canyon to be a teacher with a dual in special ed. My preferred grade level to work with would be second grade. And as you can see behind me, this is my classroom in my current environment. Talking about our dispositions. So 3 dispositions that I possess and I feel that are going to make me a successful teacher are advocacy, dedication, and compassion. For advocacy, I stand up for my students and make sure that whatever I do, I am trying to help them to succeed. As an educator, I make sure that I check in on them emotionally, mentally, academically, socially. I want to make sure that I know that no one is struggling, and if they are, I want to help them. As an advocate for these students, I want to build strong relationships with both students and family, and I want to be able to communicate all student needs effectively across the board. My next disposition I possess is dedication. I am dedicated to not only my students, but my classroom and my personal growth. I do this by planning ahead with meaningful lessons, trying to stay patient during challenging times as they come up, and I am open-minded to learn from every experience that I go through. I feel a dedicated teacher doesn't give up when facing difficult times. Yet they continue to try to help their students succeed. Staying consistent and putting in effort is what helps teachers build a strong bond and trust in their students, and it continues to promote a positive learning environment. For compassion, my next disposition, I always try to understand each student by assessing their needs, struggles, and experiences. I show patience and kindness with empathy to each student's situation, and that is my way of creating a safe space for each of those students. I want every student to understand that I respect them and that they're cared for in my classroom. One way I do this is by connecting before I correct the situation, and I always listen to the background of the story before I do address it. This helps my students feel connected, supported, and emotionally safe in my presence, I feel. The 3 dispositions that I struggle with the most are going to be high expectations, curiosity, and reflection. Starting with high expectations, I believe that every student is capable of growth and success. The part that I struggle with the most is setting clear expectations and goals and providing consistent routines and challenges that match my students' ability while still pushing them forward. I want my students to know I believe in them, and I want to be the best teacher I can for them and do everything in my ability to help them. I want to learn how to be observant and reflect on my teaching practices and curiosity. This is my next disposition. I want to know how to create an environment that keeps them engaged and excited to learn. I am very good at asking help from others and listening to feedback that they provide, and I want to know how to do the same with my students. I feel that my hope is that I create a flexible, reflective classroom where both my students and I can learn and improve. My biggest disposition that I struggle with is a reflection. I keep an open mind about what's going well with my teaching and what I can do better or improve on. I think where I struggle the most is not taking the time to consider where my students responded to or what engaged them. I also have a hard time knowing how to adjust my instruction to include effective strategies. I feel that reflection will always be my #1 disposition I struggle with and need to focus on, mainly because I feel I am never done learning how to better myself in my teaching. and I want to be the best version of myself for my classroom and my students. Well, thank you so much for hearing a little bit about me. I hope you got to see the insight of Tiffany Steel. All right, have a great day. Bye.